in making the 2 by 2 by 3 block, now that we have the 2 by 2 by 2 block, you're going to want to have a similar process. You're going to want to make a 1 by 1 by 2 block and then attach it to another 1 by 1 by 2 block to get a 1 by 2 by 1 block, or a 1 by 2 by 2 block. Now, with the 2 by 2 by 3 block, you're a little bit more restrained on what you can do because you have this 2 by 2 by 2 block to hold on to while you're doing all this stuff. And so, for beginners, it's best to only use this face, and this face when you're moving. And so, for this case, you could probably, I would go with here because I already have the 1 by 1 by 2 block made, and connect this piece right here that was down here, and just move this back in place and put it down. There are a couple of really nice tricks that you can use for the 2 by 2 by 3 block. And you can use these also for the 2 by 2 block, but they're really better designed for the 2 by 2 by 3 block, or step 4 for that matter. Because we're on step 2 right now, and step 4 is the 2 gen making this last, and step 4 is making the 2 gen F2L. And so one of these tricks is similar to what we showed before, where you do that to match these up. However, this messes up your 2 by 2 block when you do it. So what you can do now is just do RU, and you have these connected. And that's really nice because then, well, actually that does work. So then you can just do whatever to make your block. Yeah. And so with this situation, if you have the piece right here that will complete your block, and these 3 colors all match, and this edge is right here that matches up with this color and this color, then when you do this moveset, it will automatically go up here. There's another cool trick, and this one is especially useful in step 4, but you can also use it here in making the 2 by 2 by 3 block. And Petrus calls this the column on this method. And basically what it is you have a bar right here, and it contains 2 of the edges that you want to put into your 2 by 2 by 3 block, and over here you have the corner, and this color up here matches this bar. And so what you do is basically you put this down, well, whatever color's right here you put down, and then you do an F2L algorithm, which is just U prime, RUR prime. You can do this the other way, though, as well, using the same situation. If you had just done a U, then it's the opposite. So that's kind of a really flexible situation. For that situation I showed you earlier, you can, for this situation, you can also use this algorithm, U prime R. And if you have a piece right here that matches up right here, then it'll also put that into the 1 by 1 by 2 block, or 1 by 2 by 2 block. And there's a couple things that need to be said. Basically, all of the algorithms I've shown you are fit to make this 1 by 2 by 2 block for this step. And as long as you make the correct 1 by 2 by 2 block, you can put it in fairly easily. I probably should have mentioned this earlier, but in order to properly make the next 1x2x2 block to put onto your 1x2 or 2x2x3 block, you have to include a corner that has two of the colors of the 2x2 block. So this is orange, blue, and yellow. I have yellow, orange, and green. And as long as you put this 1x2x2 block on the correct center, you can flip it in fairly easily. If, however, you make a mistake and you make a 1x2x2 block that does not include two of the colors, like this one, it's missing, it only has yellow, it's missing blue or orange, then you will not be able to properly put it in. And this is where highs comes in. I think highs would be very useful if you mess up here. But for now, you just don't want to do that. And so if you end up in a situation right here in which you put the 1x2x2 block on the wrong face, it's a lot harder to fix than it would be earlier. Like, basically you have to break the 2x2 block to fix that, and that's something else I need to go over. The advanced users can probably break the 2x2x2 block if they're very careful. One of the situations in which this is very nice is when you have like a corner in place, let's say, and then you can just put an edge in the right spot and hide, slide, and unhide. And it's the same over here. And this is also useful for situations like, what's a good example? I used one earlier, and I felt guilty about it, and I don't know. Okay, so say like this, where you have a 1x2x2 block, and it's just flipped the wrong way. Like, if you reorient it, it'll be facing the right block. But right now it's just stuck here. And you have the other necessary edge over here, then you can break the 2x2 block and slide it in, and then flip it down. Here's the one that I used earlier. If you have a situation like this, where you have a piece right here that can easily slide into here, you can break the 2x2 block, unslide, unbreak the 2x2 block, and then flip it in. But also what you can do is do like an F2, R2, and then, or that's the U2. Just slide it in there and move it in. But I think that's an extra move. Anyways, on to bad edges.